sexual hot tub water, dangerous ocean water, and somewhere in between, bath water.
Hot, warm, like bath water.
It's time for Roses and Rosé. Hi, you guys. I'm Lauren Zima, here with my own favorite brand of water. It's wine. Guys, thank you so much for being with us. We are here again looking at some of the best moments in Bachelor history. On our most recent episode, we brought you the most awkward kisses ever. And so this week we wanted to get things a little hotter, a little spicier. Still a little awkward because it's The Bachelor. But we are bringing you the sexiest moments ever. I wore a weird shirt for this. I look like I'm in prison but elevated, but then also one of our crew guys, thank you Josue, said it was a little Parisian, so maybe that's good for some sexual vibes. And I want to thank Tamika in part for the idea for this episode because she suggested on YouTube that we do Peter's sexiest moments ever. Well, we're gonna start off for you, Tamika.
We have so much ground to cover.
Do you want to cover it in the hot tub?
Let's do it.
Our first moment is Peter and Rachel in the hot tub. Rachel Lindsay's season of The Bachelorette, and we had all been fawning over Peter for many episodes, and then we got this treat. They are sans clothing. They are in the hot tub. They are kissing. We are seeing his hands go up her back. We are wondering why he's wearing that ring, but whatever, it's Peter. He can do whatever he wants. When they came back, everybody said, you've been gone a long time.
I've been gone for a while.
Well, wouldn't you? If you had Peter in the hot tub, you'd stay for a while, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. So that moment was pure sexiness. So drink every time something is pure sex. Mm-hmm. Next, we're throwing it back to Bachelorette Season 1, Trista and Ryan. They were also in a hot tub, but they didn't get as wet as Peter and Rachel did. They just shared the most subtle, sexy, slightly open mouth kiss. And afterwards, she's like, wow. Wow. And he's like,
I'm gonna need to take a dive into that ice water.
I gotta jump in the ice water, and you just felt their chemistry, and they're still married today. So that sexiness turned into something real, and isn't it wonderful when a connection is more than a connection? You know what I'm saying? Another hot tub moment, Jordan. You know what? Drink every time I talk about hot tubs. Jordan and JoJo in the hot tub. This one's a sexy moment because these people are just both so fit and hot and like tan and coiffed and just perfect and just dang. There's something very photographic about how beautiful they are together. Moving on from hot tubs, we have another body of water that serves for Bachelorette sexiness, the ocean. We didn't love Courtney, but Ben did, especially when they jumped into the ocean together. They just stripped right down on that beach and went right in. And later in a memoir, Courtney would reveal that they had sex for just a few seconds, she said, about 20 seconds in the ocean. She said, and I quote, just the... Anyway, also in the ocean, just drink every time things get sexy in a body of water. Juan Pablo and Claire. This was just cute. This was like giddy, and that's what made it sexy. It was the beginning of like love. And Claire called the ocean
Bath water.
and said, what's sexier than the feeling of bath water?
How much more romantic can you get?
I'm not sure if that is what I would call super duper sexy.
You know when a baby giraffe is born?
But you know, it's The Bachelor and you gotta have a little awkwardness in there.
And they have those like wobbly legs?
So drink every time something's sexy but awkward. What's sexier, to be in a hot tub or the ocean?
Bath water.
Drink responsibly.
Carly, you're going to sit on his lap.
Awkward but sexy. Remember this, Chris Soules and Carly on the Love Guru date. Now, they had to climb on top of each other as this woman was instructing them to breathe into each other. When Carly breathed out, Chris was supposed to breathe her in, to use their hands. They could not kiss. Do you guys think it's sexy to like do everything but kiss? Or am I overestimating this? It was weird. I hope they both had mints. Their breath needed to be fresh to breathe each other in, but They definitely explored what it was like to do everything without doing anything, and there was something hot about that. But also sexy but awkward. A similar date, because The Bachelor loves to force people to be physically close to each other and, you know, really make those connections happen.
How long have you guys been intimate?
Intimate.
JoJo and Chase, remember this hot yoga date? It was hot. Again, Chase was hot. JoJo just had like hot guys on her season, didn't she? You know? I don't know if I'd say that they all made for great boyfriends. I'm talking about Robbie. But hot, you know, just physically attractive. So this was sexy, and that's it. They were just both fit and sexy. And it wouldn't be a sexy countdown without our favorite platinum vagine.
My heart is gold, but my vagine is platinum.
Corinne Olympios, everybody. Oh, she has multiple moments for herself.
I learned how to say nap, siesta, champagne, champagne.
Who could forget when on what I believe was Nick Viall's first group date, Corinne took her bikini top off, playing a bride during a wedding-themed photo shoot, making her moves. Then Corinne went for classic sexy. She put on a trench coat and not much else, even grabbing a can of whipped cream.
What does whipped cream have to do with it?
To fulfill her fantasy with Nick, making it happen. And last, the infamous or famous bikini bouncy house moment. Corinne straddled Nick. She cuddled Nick. She swung around on Nick. Okay.
This is kind of dope.
One more moment involving water. I don't know why. It just elevates things. Ashley and JP. This is a throwback. Kissing in the rain. They had their glasses of wine next to him. He's holding the umbrella over her. It was just cinematic, you know, a movie moment. And speaking of cinematic, and I hate that I have to do this because you guys know how I feel about He Who Must Not Be Named. Anyway, but I gotta add to the list Ari kissing Emily Maynard on her season of The Bachelorette against that brick wall, because he was a very film-like kisser. The way he grabbed her face, the way he put her up against the wall, it was movie-worthy. It was magical. Again, we know how it all turned out. It's weird, isn't it, to know now the future and see how it affects how sexy I find things in the past. Much like one's own relationships.
You and me, every day. Will you do something for me?
Okay, that trip down memory lane's over. Our final moment goes to a controversial one, but it has to be on the list because it was a very real hookup. Can you guess what it is? I'll give you 5 more seconds. It is Caitlin Bristow and Nick Viall. So Caitlin and Nick go on this dinner date, and she's like just acting like a normal person in the normal world, but you know, she is on a TV show, so it's all being filmed. She said,
Do you want to go back to my hotel and hang out for a bit?
Yeah.
do you want to come back to my hotel? And Nick's like, I absolutely do.
Yeah.
And they go back there, and then she's all cute. She like can't get the key card to work. And then they go in, and all we get is the audio.
Never want this end.
I don't actually know how sexy I find that. That moment sticks out to me as such an iconic one in franchise history, because the door closed and to just there's something about like, we've had moments on Bachelor in Paradise where we've seen the night vision cameras of people like pulling a blanket over each other. That to me, while it is much more footage of the thing, is not that sexy versus this. To just hear the audio, to just hear those noises. Wow. What do you guys think? Was that Caitlin and Nick moment sexy, or is it weird now? Was it sexy then, but weird now? Was it ever sexy? I think it was sexy. I think they had, did they? I don't know. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for joining us as we recap The Bachelor's sexiest moments ever. To take us home now, I am going to bring in Roses and Rosés, maker of sexiest moments ever. JC, everybody. Lean in for the kiss. No, you have to actually be sexy. No. The Burt Reynolds. The romance novel cover. Guys, it's me. My hair's up. It's a different look. We're loving it. I forgot to tell you that next week we are going to go back to Bachelor news. So we will be bringing you the latest on Colton's season, Jordan and Jenna, and more. And the week after, biggest Bachelor behind the scenes secrets. So what questions do you have that you want to be answered? Tell us what you want to know about behind the scenes of the show, and I'll tell you everything I can. You know I always will. Okay, thanks. Bye. Excuse me. You want to talk about sexy? Speaking of sexy but awkward, remember that. What's on my. Keeping it sexy. Let me quaff myself a little, okay? Zhuzh it up. Trying to make something happen. Oh, God, now my eyelashes are tangled together.
I can only do funny, but...
Do we need a mic for this one?
No, voice in the sky.